feeling like I'm Akademiks.
I know we had kind of teased the Diddy shit yesterday or the day before. I'll get into this a little bit. Yo, this was interesting. Okay, Diddy, Alex Spiro. Now let me bring this angle to it. So Diddy, who we all believe is going to be indicted very shortly by HSI, FBI, and all these federal authorities on possible sex trafficking allegations. Here's the funny thing about it. People have said that, yeah, Diddy is getting hammered, but somebody else who might be like Diddy in terms of allegations or things he's done, guess who? Jay-Z. Jay-Z has been mad quiet. Jay-Z don't do brunches no more. He don't do Made in America. He barely show his face. He only pops out for Tom Brady. He's been out the way, laying low. It makes sense if there was a possibility that you could even be mentioned in the same breath as a Diddy right now, given what he's going through. You don't want to be mad loud, which, by the way, that's one of the things Diddy has been really accused of, just being mad loud when really he should have just fell back, right? Now, this is interesting. Jay-Z's top Roc Nation lawyer, Alex Spiro, is now representing Tupac's family. And they now want to possibly seek, and they're doing investigations against Diddy to see if he had any role in the late rapper's murder. Alex Spiro is the one who got 21 Savage out of jail. Alex Spiro is the one who Jay-Z, when he wants to help somebody, be like, I'm going to give you Alex Spiro. Alex Spiro also represented Meg Thee Stallion. Alex Spiro, when Roc Nation was trying to sign Bobby Shmurda, Alex Spiro was helping him. Alex Spiro is Roc Nation's, lawyer. I won't say completely their lawyer, but that's Jay-Z's guy. Well, why is Jay-Z's guy now going at Diddy? That's fucking odd. Listen to this. Sources with direct knowledge tell us that Tupac's still living relatives have retained the attorneys Alex Spiro and Christopher Clore, as well as a team of investigators to look into Keefe D's resurfaced allegation that Diddy offered to pay him and his crew money to take Pac out in the 90s. Wow. So if you recall, there was an allegation in the murder case that Keefe D said that Diddy was down to pay $1 million for the hit on Tupac. Now, this is why this is funny to me. If I'm Jay-Z laying low, and I want, if anything's going to happen, y'all get that nigga Diddy, I'm going to lay low until this whole brush is over. Why you got your lawyer digging up more shit on Diddy? That's fucking odd. That's just really odd to me. Alex Spiro. Just type in Alex Spiro Roc Nation. Just type in Alex Spiro Roc Nation. Just go to, he actually has a Wikipedia page. Search Jay-Z. You're going to see Jay-Z a lot over here. It's a lot of Jay-Z. Jay-Z was awarded $4.5 million because he was not liable in the Cologne deal. He obtained a temporary restraining order against Dame Dash. It's a lot of Jay-Z. Why is Jay's guy going against Diddy right now? Now, this is what you got to know Diddy's cooked. Because if Jay, not saying Jay orchestrated this or Jay is telling Alex Spiro to do it, but if I'm Jay, I'm telling my lawyer, you can't represent nobody that's going after Diddy. You know why? If Diddy's hands is covered in blood, and maybe my hand got a couple of, sprinkles of blood, I ain't gonna send you against him because he might be like, I'm all right, y'all already got me, but since y'all got me, let me tell you about Diddy. That's kind of odd. Okay? So, let's go to law and crime. Chat, this is our last topic, so I appreciate y'all for rocking with me today. Listen to this. Is it this? Gotta make sure I'm playing the right thing.
we are all looking forward not only to our day in court with our civil lawsuits, but also the criminal justice system working on our behalf.
A grand jury is reportedly hearing testimony involving Sean Diddy Combs following a raid on his homes in March, and he has a new lawyer. Those are just a couple of the top 5 updates on the rap mogul who's come under fire for allegations of sex trafficking for months. A lawyer for one of Combs' accusers is here to tell us about when she thinks Combs could be indicted. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. We've been telling you for months about Sean Diddy Combs and the allegations of sexual assault and sex trafficking made against him by a number of women, some going back decades. NBC News reported in early July that Combs' legal team had been notified a week earlier that he was the subject of an ongoing criminal investigation. The report cited 2 unnamed sources. We knew that Sean...
Okay,
It's not a...
Were just around, but we all know Mr. Diddy's white parties. They were highly publicized. They were the it parties to go to. And she was actually featured in the Vibe magazine in terms of her presence being there, even though they misinterpreted her presence as a party goer, even though she was a paid employee at those parties. Mm-hmm. However, when it comes to what we're looking for, what the other victims are looking for in terms of civil justice, we are going through the civil process. And to my understanding, it's because there's the criminal aspect at play. So there's this gray area when you talk about civil lawsuits and settling civil lawsuits when there may be something criminal afoot. It could look like possible bribery or witness tampering. So just like my client and the other individuals who have come forward with their lawsuits, we are all looking forward not only to our day in court with our civil lawsuits, but also the criminal justice system working on our behalf. You mentioned earlier that people have been afraid of him for years. Obviously, with people filing these civil lawsuits, and they have to work their way through the courts, of course. Do you think that fear is gone now? Do you feel that people just really are not afraid of him at all? Because, I mean, we are showing some videos during this show that show him boarding his plane. I mean, I've seen pictures on TMZ where he's whitewater rafting out west in Montana or Wyoming or something like that. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's overly concerned. Well, if I was somebody like Mr. Combs who had done what I did, I would want to, be trying to get as much of my bucket list out of the way before the hammer comes down. Wow. That's how I interpret. Not that he's unbothered, but just like you said, even though we've seen the video of him beating Mrs. Ventura, he's denied these allegations. And I think that's because he lives in a delusional fantasy land. And he's been able to get away with this for so long. Mr. Combs has been at this for over 30 years. And there's a long line of victims in his wake. So I think he's just been so used to getting away with these things and not facing any type of retribution for his actions that on the one hand, he probably is just immune to feeling like he's above penalty or punishment. And then on the other hand, I think he is a little worried, and that's why he's out gallivanting, because he knows his freedom is limited. Ariel Mitchell-Kidd, thank you so much. Thank you. In response to Adria English's lawsuit, Combs' lawyer Jonathan Davis said, "No matter how many lawsuits are filed, it won't change the fact that Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted or sex trafficked anyone. We live in a world where anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason and without any proof. Fortunately, a fair and impartial judicial process exists to find the truth, and Mr. Combs is confident he will prevail against these and other baseless claims in court." Now let's go back to the grand jury that's reportedly been impaneled. NBC News reported earlier this month that Combs' lawyers received a letter saying he was the subject of an investigation. He was not told he was a target, according to the outlet. And to deal with these legal issues out of the Southern District of New York, Combs has reportedly hired a new lawyer. His name is Mark Agnifilo. He's a former federal prosecutor who represented Pharma Bro Martin Shkreli and Nexium founder Keith Raniere. Agnifilo told Business Insider, "I think that the Southern District is appropriately taking its time and considering many different factors, but we are firmly convinced that he did not violate any federal laws, and we hope we can work with prosecutors in reaching that conclusion." The website also reported—
That's a good lawyer, by the way.
Reported that Agnifilo said Combs hadn't spoken with federal prosecutors and doesn't believe, quote, anything is imminent. Another big Diddy development, he wiped his Instagram account clean back on June 22nd. Diddy had posted often, but that day in June, it was blank. Even the apology video for beating up Cassie was gone. Diddy's Instagram account would stay that way until July 6th, when he posted on his Instagram story.
Shit. What up, yo? How you doing? Yeah. No place like home.
That video showed Combs boarding his jet, although we don't know where he was going and when he was getting on that plane. Was that video meant to show that Combs isn't worried about a possible indictment, since it posted days after the news about the grand jury meeting broke? Possibly. If the video was recorded that same day, it shows Diddy doesn't have travel restrictions. The video did not show where Combs was going, and you can't track his plane. Just try it. FlightAware shows that you cannot track Diddy's plane any longer. Combs has since posted again on Instagram wishing his daughter a happy 18th birthday And he also posted about a younger daughter. Sean Combs has also tried.
Yeah, the police is tracking that plane, though. Yeah, anytime you get in the plane, like you got to file a manifest and a location where you're going with the FAA. Any plane that is a private jet of his, or if Diddy appears on a manifest that's headed out of the country, you'd think you'd have to be stupid to think the police would not arrest him immediately. Fuck the grand jury or not.
Tried to sell his California mansion that the feds raided, but he's being pretty low-key about it. The home in Holmby Hills is being sold off-market, and TMZ reports that he's asking a whopping $70 million for the property. That's a huge chunk of change, given the fact that he paid $40 million for it back in 2014. We got a look inside the mansion earlier this year when Misa Hilton posted security footage showing federal agents raiding the property. It's 17,000 square feet. Going to probably have some connections within the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office. He's going to be able to maybe have some connections there. He's a former federal prosecutor himself. So this could benefit Sean Combs in some ways. But
yeah, having someone who's a former federal prosecutor, definitely he's going to be able to make a couple calls and try to, be as civil as possible with the agents or the DAs, or not DAs, but AUSAs that's handling this case, that they could see if, maybe try to explain certain shit like, yo, damn, what was this? Maybe they could be like, oh, no, well, we got some proof that could help you out to show that that's not criminal, right? And I think that's the point of, Diddy getting this new lawyer. This lawyer is going to be able to try to work as much magic before an indictment comes to kind of let the AUSAs know, hey, listen, you're wasting your time with that. Like, we got some shit that could show you that Diddy ain't do nothing wrong. Oh, you heard a complaint that he was fucking underage girls, or underage girls were at this party. Oh, we actually had everybody sign a waiver and we scanned their IDs. We'll give you all that info that you could verify with them, and you could hit them up. You could make sure that nobody was underage. Shit, maybe the government looks at it and be like, oh, nobody was underage. They're right.
But when it comes down, when we get down to brass tacks, he still may face some really serious federal charges.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I always tell people having an attorney that's familiar with the district or familiar with individuals within the district or other U.S. attorneys that work within the district is always a good thing. It's not going to hurt you. What I don't think is it doesn't throw you over the fence of a not guilty or you not getting charges, generally speaking. Who knows what happened with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff? That's a whole nother case. But I'm sure that helped, that people knew different individuals that were involved in that case as well. So in this case, yes, I think he's familiar with individuals that have the case. I think he's familiar with the judge that may get this case eventually because he's been practicing so long in that district. And his wife was a U.S. attorney, a USA for the same district.
Oh, wow. So his wife was one of the people who would normally prosecute somebody like Diddy. So that shit, Diddy's probably paying a pretty penny. I gotta imagine, like, them legal fees gotta be going crazy, bro.
And was like very high up in the chain in the administration. So if you have someone that's number 2 or 3 in the administration that just left the office, it doesn't hurt. Do I think that it's a slam dunk win because of that? No, I don't think that happens. I think that it helps in terms of individuals knowing the lawyer, knowing what type of reputation that lawyer has. And if that lawyer says, hey, my client will be there at 10 o'clock on a Monday or 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, you can take that lawyer's word for that individual will show up at that time. So it does benefit you on little things. It may sway small arguments here and there, but it's not a slam dunk, like he's not going to be charged. I'm a firm believer in, from what I've heard and from what I know, I think he's going to be charged with some kind of crimes. I don't know what crimes they are, but just based on my experience and based on what I've seen so far, I believe
got to be sex trafficking and RICO, right?
There's going to be some charges coming down very soon, is my guess.
What is very soon to you?
I've always said by the end of the summer, listen, I don't have a crystal ball, but generally speaking, if you have a grand jury that's meeting, which is that's what's rumored to be happening right now, it sounds like that grand jury has been being convened since the beginning of the summer. Generally speaking, when you have crimes like this, even big crimes, usually a grand jury wouldn't meet for more than 90 or 120 days. So if they started meeting at the beginning of the summer, just if you do some simple math, you would think it would be, September, middle of September, the latest. That's what I think. Again, they could be investigating other crimes that are so, out there, and they have to find witnesses for these things, that it could be a little bit longer. But my guess is by the end of the summer, sometime in September, I think that they charge something. I don't know what that's going to be.
NBC News reported that his legal team received a letter saying he was the subject of a criminal investigation, but not the target. So what's the difference, and does it matter?
So subjects are, while an investigation is going on, it could be a larger investigation where it includes multitude of co-defendants and a lot of other individuals where they would say, hey, your guy is a subject, but we really want Bob Smith. Generally, that doesn't happen. They usually throw out a subject letter when they're still investigating, but they're not positive they're going to charge. I think this is just kind of structuring. I don't think that they're throwing that out there to say like he's not going to be charged. But I think they're being very cautious because I think a lot of individuals that have something to do with the case also have something to do with the criminality of the case. So I think that any co-defendants that he may have, if he does eventually get charged, I believe they had a significant portion of the criminality that was going on, such as, you know, a Cassie or someone else that was dating him. There are going to be allegations, I believe, against those individuals. And so they have to be very careful of the wording that they put instead of putting a target, which means, okay, your guy is the guy we're looking for. We're not looking any further. That's your main guy, or that is one of the main guys. I think they're being very careful with that. They know how high profile it is. And I also think they know there's problems with the other individuals that are involved. And I think they would all be subjects, in my opinion, until they take the stand in front of a grand jury.
Sum for this property. I mean, there's no way that this property increased in value by $30 million within 10 years.
I'm not a real estate guru, so I couldn't tell you if it increased in $30 million over 3 years. I'm sure he did some improvements and things of that nature. I don't know what he would get for that property. Do I think that it is, it's an unusual move that someone starts selling off property when they're being investigated? Not really. I think that an investigation brings upon a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, and the less things you have in your life that distract you from that stress and pressure are probably a good thing. So you can see a lot of people that are getting investigated that might want to sell off assets for a multitude of reasons. Maybe to pay the lawyers, maybe to have less stress in their life where, you know, you have taxes and all these other expenses that are associated with the property that you just want to pare down.
Okay.
Going on as usual. I mean, he's just waiting, I guess. What does that signal to you? I mean, is he kind of thumbing his nose at all of this? We had Ariel.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, you know, a bunch of developments, you know, I don't know if the feds are considering the whole Tupac situation. It appears that you would imagine they're considering the whole situation with, what's Shorty's name again? Cassie Ventura, which is Cassie. That would be the main thing. Maybe other people that fit the bill that are actually credible. So it would appear that sex trafficking and racketeering would be the thing, right? Now, if they come through with some, you know, maybe under the racketeering statute, they come with, oh, Diddy has been, you know, gotten people shot, gotten people killed. You know what I mean? That would be a whole nother can of worms. I think that's just hard to prove. I believe they said everybody with the Tupac situation died, right? So, like, unless you're going to have Keefe D, which Keefe D is a decorated criminal. So it's like, what is he going to testify to? How believable is he? What other proof do y'all have that Diddy put up money? So, you know, those seem like a long shot, obviously, for the family. The family would love to, you know, put a lawsuit on Diddy and shit. That could even be manifesting into a civil lawsuit. Again, I've heard that Diddy was trying to liquidate $200 million for a war chest in terms of paying lawyers and maybe paying out people that he would like to stay out of this, right? Or just settling stuff. You know, certain stuff he's not going to settle, but, you know, he's making sure he's cash rich at the moment that he could possibly live to fight another day. Again, it's a situation where I think he's down to go broke in as long as his freedom is maintained. And who wouldn't, right? Like, who cares about $1 billion if you're locked up? And if that works, shit, we'll see. It appears that the feds are coming at him in a million different angles. They're primarily coming at him with the women angle. We don't know how much of the assault or maybe shootings or other maybe what they would call, you know, organized crime that they feel like he's intimidated or blow people car up or whatever the case is. But we'll see. We'll see. So, again, from what I've heard from a lot of legal experts, they believe that August will not end without. So we won't get to Labor Day without Diddy getting charged. It remains to be seen. Everything is still speculation, but we will see, people. All right, we will see. All right, guys. Gave y'all about 6.5 hours today, and I really appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Vibes Cartel is free the world boss. I'm about to go chill out, go play some Vibes Cartel music. I hope you guys go enjoy the rest of your day. I'll try to get back on tomorrow and give y'all a little bit more entertainment. I'm setting up some more interviews, man. There's some more interviews that are kind of like in the wind. We about to knock them all out. By the way, I think we're, at least on my side, I can see, I don't know if it's public yet on YouTube, we did about like 1 million views in 2 days with the Young and Ace interview. Again, I'm proud that I don't think there's much there that's like, you know, at least in answers and questions in terms of, oh, this is going to get this nigga locked up. I think he did a good job of doing that. I had a conversation with him before, and after, he seemed pretty fine with it. So I'm actually glad that, he was able to express himself, but not, talk himself in the jail cell, not with my interview. Okay, chat. Thank you guys so much. Is there any, maybe we got like some, I got to check if you guys donated and I missed it. Because sometimes that do happen. Yeah, we talked about the Fulio shit. We did a good amount with that. General Surgency says, I've been 20 with a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old. What? I've been 20 with a 16-year-old and 18 with a 31-year-old. Nobody was forced in either situation. People are going to be who they want to. Stop making late teenagers out to be the innocent they're not. All right, brother. Hey, listen. I got no comment on that, brother. Frank says Kai will cut his friend off for having a conversation with a 17-year-old at 21, but will collab with Drake, who's kissing a 17-year-old at 24. Well, you got it. Well, Kai's in a space where, like, bro, it just matters what they're going to cancel you over, right? Like, I'm going to be honest. I guess that's where, like, it gets into that gray area, right? Do I think Kai acts the same way if maybe his livelihood and his, he's having this exponential rise to stardom isn't at risk? I don't know. But right now it is at risk. And this is, I mean, I think this is a moral decision for him too, but it's also a business decision, okay? Nick Yardy, what going on, dog? He said World Boss free. Yo, World Boss definitely free, isn't it? Ty says IG means Indian givers. Dylan says, yo, finally some new tunes in HQ. South Dudan says, yo, Ruby Rose got much miles on her Punani. Ty was commenting on, the girls taking photo shoots on the vacation you pay for. And ABCDF says, if you have that kind of view on women, not saying that's how you think, I can tell the side of stick you always had, not on some emotional shit. Just saying. I don't know what you're saying right there, brother. There was a Trump question from a story to tell, and Lazy Prodigy says Black Jobs is directing the topic of the statement to certain people while he's addressing that same community. If he said to the black people, all these illegal are taking white jobs, how would that come across? I don't know what you're saying there. 9 break, I told you we're going to try to work on the TTS. TN Nano, it says hip hop media, that's a black job. I read that before. And they said it's YouTuber Melly Monaco that got engaged to by Gilbert Arenas. Some people are saying R. Tony says, yo, she's not black. He's talking about Kamala. And Justin Clark says, man, didn't Kamala make a career locking up thousands of black men on small charges while Trump pardoned them? Come on. Free C Murder actually said, Free C Murder. Story to tell said, thank God for your streaming from Jersey. If you were streaming Clarendon Parish, Vibes Cartel would have streamers on a gone to what? All right, I can't hear what you're saying. I can't read it. I can read it, but I don't understand it. Fox Billy says they're trying to hang Thug while the world watches. And Aisha Esh says, Vibes Cartel released today. We lit. All right, people. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching my stream today. I appreciate it. I hope I give you all the necessary entertainment you needed. I know always, every time I get off stream, I feel like, I could have given you a little bit more. I could have given you more time. And probably likewise, you could have given me a little bit more too. I love you. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Please take care of yourself. And shit, just protect you and your family while we watch this wild world kind of happen and revolve around us that we're just trying to survive in. All right? Peace. Love you guys. See you.